Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new or simply not yet subscribed, I'm Brittany, and definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button. I feel like most people know the legend of the Headless Horseman and Sleepy Hollow. I grew up with that legend, and I remember coming back from the city and we passed through Sleepy Hollow, and I got really excited just because of that legend. But what about other headless ghosts? Well, this tale might even predate the legend of the Headless Horseman in Sleepy Hollow. In the early 1800s, a large portion of Swampton was just wetlands and grown forests. And a lot of the roads that people traveled didn't have names. So people would name them based off of what you would encounter going through them. Some of them had very pleasant names, such as Sunnyside, and others had darker names like Dark Corners or Purgatory Road and Robbers Corners. I'm assuming that people would often get robbed there. And these names identified the road and also warned the traveler. Most of the names would change over time. However, names still carry some sort of meaning to them. And Indian Corner might just be one of the most frightening roads in this area that you could go down. Indian Corner Road is in Washington County, Rhode Island, and it travels northeast towards Wickford. Over 200 years ago, Indian Corner Road was marked by a very large boulder. And this was because during winter storms, the snow would make it difficult to follow the road. A lot of people that would go down this road at night would encounter either a headless torso or a disembodied head. And it said that on evenings when it was dark and the fog would creep over the edge of the swamps and consume the road, that is when the headless torso would appear. It'd be surrounded by this blaze of blue and would appear near the rock. It would kind of sway back and forth, and then it would begin to rise from the ground. And as it rose up quite quickly, it would leave this trail of light in its wake. Some believed that this was the spirit of a young boy. However, others thought that it was an angry spirit of a Narragansett Indian, which is believed to be how this road had gotten its name. The Narragansett Indians, which probably pronouncing that wrong, but they had previously lived in Swampton and they had been kicked out by settlers. Some local historians say that there was a battle in Swampton during the King Philip's War. They say that bodies of the Native Americans that had been killed in that battle were buried near the rock. It's said that on dark nights, as the moon hides below the trees, some will see blood flowing from under the rock. I believe that this is just iron in the soil, but either way, it's still a little creepy. On one occasion, there was this guy who was walking home. He saw something peeking out from beneath the leaves in this rain-worn ditch. So obviously he was curious, so he starts going through the leaves, and he would discover a skull staring at him. So he was fascinated by this. I mean, I feel like most people that would find something like this would be fascinated. You're either really fascinated or you're really creeped out, or you're both. You could be both. He decided to take it a step further and take it with him. Not quite sure why you would do that. I know that if I were to find a human bone, that I would just leave it. We found a cattle bone in our backyard, and even that I was like, oh my gosh, we should just leave this. We should just bury it, not do anything with it, just keep it there. So he brought the skull home, and his wife was obviously very unhappy with him and was just like, why on earth did you think that this was a good idea to take? So he was like, okay, well, I won't keep it in the house. I'll put it outside on a pole. That evening, this horrible storm would come in. Him and his wife would be relaxing by the fire, and they heard this loud clattering outside their home, and they got startled. At first, they thought it was just the wind, so then they just like kind of relaxed back in their seat until they heard a rumble right outside the door. It's like, okay, well, obviously it's not just the wind. Let's check it out. As it grew louder, they looked out the window, and his wife screamed at what she saw. It was a headless skeleton shuffling around near their home. They could hear its bones rattling, and it looked as though it was like frantically searching for something. The next morning, they would look around and see, kind of what's what. And they found like, things kind of messed up. Then they noticed that the skull on the pole was gone. Obviously, he just came to get his head back. The skeleton has also been said to be seen sitting on top of the rock at Indian Corner. Some people say that he is guarding the graves of his fellow Indians, while others believe that he's there to reclaim the land that was once owned by him and his ancestors. And today, Indian Corner is a place that a lot of people still avoid traveling at night. And obviously, it's a really sad story if he is still there because of Native Americans being displaced from their home. I mean, we see it all throughout the country, that there's so many accounts and places where settlers came in and kicked them out, which no part of that is right. And not only kicked them out, but like brutally murdered them and kicked them out. Let me know if you guys have ever been to this road and had any experiences. If you've had any paranormal experiences in general and you want to tell me, I would love to hear them. You can go ahead and email me at brittanybriereghosts@gmail.com. Make sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and until my next video, I love you guys. Bye.